Hello, everybody, and welcome back to RollPlay Bar Verona. There's a dead serpents, and you've put out some feelers. Where would we like to begin? Where should we start? Should we start at the scene of the crime? Should we go see the crux friend we have on the planet? Is it church time? Actually, you know what? While you ponder that, let's start with Nomi. So Nomi, you get a reply. And I think that it's a message from the intelligence department on the ship, right? Because that's who you communicate with, and then they check the onboard database. You get a message back from the department that says Serpens Scryer Friedrich Lang, no information available, and there's a footnote added by Yancey himself that just says Nomi, call.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just call him like immediately, I guess.
Okay. All right. So you get put through to Yancey. And he says, Cirrus, saw your intelligence request. Who is this Friedrich Lang to you?
It appears he was a Serpens here on the planet. And unfortunately, he has since been eliminated by persons unknown. We're investigating.
My condolences. Always hard to lose a family member. Though I think in this case, we're both owed some condolences. It's only part way a serpent's. His mother was a crux. Poor woman. No offense. But what's interesting is that, we don't have security clearance for his personnel file. His section of Signet has been locked down. And I don't understand why. This shouldn't be possible. I've sent in a request to Hyra, and I have a meeting to discuss this with the Richter, but you found a black spot, Nomi.
Very interesting. If you have no further instructions, we will continue investigating, and I will keep you apprised of the situation.
Precisely my request. And don't let this mystery derail you from your actual mission. But if you think they're related, I trust you. That'll be all. And he hangs up on you.
Yep. Interesting. Okay, so then everybody else is still standing nearby.
Yep.
Cool. So I just turn to them and kind of relay the information. Like Yancey, even Yancey doesn't have the access to Friedrich Lang's information. It appears that either this person is just above our pay grade, or someone truly doesn't want us to know anything more about who they were. We'll
Do
have
you
to
trust
tread
him?
lightly. Do I trust Yancey?
He could be lying.
I was gonna say, do you feel better now, Booker, knowing that it's not just you? It's like the whole ship's pay grade. It seems to be he's above.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He could be blowing smoke up our asses.
I kind of like throw a glance at Booker when he like laughs, and then I look back at Vicky, and I just say, I think that is something we should always keep under consideration. For now, we need to investigate this murder and hopefully find out what happened to them before someone comes after any one of us.
We have an address.
And as I mentioned
At
earlier,
least let us know where he was picked up from.
I may have someone that may know something about Frederick Lang. Although if he's beyond Crux's sight, that will make things difficult, I'm sure. But I do have an opportunity to meet with them. It seems like following up on Miss Tip's location would be advisable.
Gabriel, I must insist that in the spirit of working as a team, you honor Captain Tip's request to not refer to her as Miss Tip.
I did not realize it was Captain Tip. It is.
Yes, I think aboard the Prudence, it's the jurisprudence, or it's just the Prudence?
Yeah, I mean the Prudence is the short form name. Yeah.
Okay, aboard the Prudence, to call anyone else a captain is frowned upon, but here on the surface, you may call her Miss or Captain Tip. I almost said it.
Miss Captain Tip.
You're messing me up, Miss Captain Tip.
Yeah, because then we look
Miss
up like
Tippy
naval
Tipper.
protocol, and when you have like
Yeah.
a captain,
It's like
you
Major
say
Tip.
sergeant.
I think it's major. I don't remember.
Oh, it might be right. Might be
Anyways,
major.
yeah.
Captain Tip it will be, whilst at least we're off the Prudence.
I think we have many threads that we could pull at, and it's just simply a matter of choosing one and going in that direction and seeing where it leads us. So I'm happy to start anywhere.
That is going to be coming to meet here at the scene of the crime here, as it were. Known her for a long time, trustworthy enough, unless she's changed a whole bunch, which, knowing her and her ambition, she might have, but I trust her enough.
Good.
Perhaps then it's best for us to wait here for Officer
Yeah, I was gonna
Greaves'
say
friend to arrive.
Yeah, this would be a great time for her to show up too, if we want to just jump to that. So there's the purple flash of, and I like that you called her after the fact, and she still showed up faster than the people who were to fix the cab. So yeah, a Crux, not like a police car, right? Not like an obviously like marked vehicle, but like an undercover car with a light. It pulls up and and so whoosh, like comes into the dock, and it gull wings open, and a woman steps out. For people who are doing the casting at home, I imagine that she's played by Michelle Forbes. So she's pretty tall. She has kind of shoulder length, dark brown hair. She looks like she's maybe like 10 years younger than Booker, because Booker, you look a little like on the older side, right? You don't have any life extension tech, and you just kind of look like
she's
like
played
kinda
by
grizzled
Ro
dude.
Laren.
Yeah, there you go. So she looks like she's aged better than you, or at least more expensively.
I was gonna say, I refuse to believe that Booker shacked up with that.
Better?
I'm just saying.
Booker's a handsome guy in a grizzly
Booker is
sort
a
of
handsome
way.
dude. Yeah.
Chicks dig that?
She's wearing essentially like the imperial, the sci-fi equivalent of like a power suit. So it's got kind of like the strong shoulders. It's like a black blazer over top of a blouse, and then a skirt. And she has the Crux like pin of authority, her cop badge basically on her lapel. Yeah, power suit in the 80s sense, not power suit in the Space Marine sense. She doesn't come out with machine guns or anything. I have to clarify because it's confusing to people.
Yep.
Yeah, when I say power suit, I don't mean power armor. I will call that power armor.
Booker, it's good to see you again.
Exactly. So she steps out of the vehicle, and she looks at the group of you, and Booker, I assume, are you gonna like step forward or?
Yeah, I'll step forward.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So she gives you an up and down and smirks slightly, and is about to say something smart ass unless you interrupt her.
Nope, I don't interrupt her.
Okay. So she smirks and she says, I heard you spent some time in a Honolulu hotel. You've aged horribly, Booker.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And and then she looks at your friends, and she says, "You're going to introduce me to your team."
Salome, this is Cirrus Nomika, Bicky Tip, Captain Tip. We're still working on that one. She's new. Crusader Gabriel as well. Everyone, Salome. Your name is just so hard to say. I'm so sorry. I still can't get it right.
She just kicks you off the platform. You fall to your death. So Salome, she gives a respectful bow, and she says, "Captain, Cirrus, Chaplain, nice to meet you. I'm Kriegsherr Salome Ferrero. Booker and I go way back, unfortunately." And she throws another smile at Booker. Booker said something about a crime scene?
If no one says anything, the Booker just takes the.
She is assuming and acting like Booker is in charge.
Right, which I'm gonna let him take the lead on that.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for Nomi
Booker,
to correct her.
No, if this is what Booker says. We see. The thing is, he turns into Kif.
Cool, good. Booker is now played by Woody Allen. So
think about the bodies. Nomi doesn't say anything, so he's going to take the initiative and let her know that Nomi's in charge. Like, Nomi here is in charge. I just doing my detective thing and examining. Well, why don't you take a look? But she's the one running things here. I'm just doing my job. And
so when she realizes that you're not in charge, she makes a face that Nomi, you recognize right away as like partly familiar, like, oh, that Booker, and partly disappointment, and then this sort of resignation of like, oh, like why did I think the Booker would be in charge of anything? Like, he hates being in charge. Like, of course he's still just like a regular detective.
I was in charge.
Yeah, right. There's this moment that passes between them that I think Nomi especially, but maybe Vicky and Gabriel noticed too, where she's obviously got a very strong idea of who Booker Greaves is, and it disappoints her a little bit to not be wrong. And she turns and she says very politely to you, Nomi, she says, "My apologies, Siriska. This is your investigation. You didn't come down from the ship just to muck around in our jurisdiction, did you? You found this body by accident?"
Yes, as we were leaving to go attend to some other matters, this cab pulled up in front of our building, and, well, you can look for yourself. And I kind of like lead her over to the cab.
Yeah, she walks over to the cab, which opens at her approach, and she looks at the body, crosses her arms over her chest, looks at it for a second, and she looks and she says, It's not exactly traditional to give gifts in the week of mourning, but, well, this looks like a message to me. A threat.
One more to mourn.
You say it just pulled up in front of your apartment?
Yes.
Oh. So, obviously, by now you've figured out that it must be someone who knew that you were here, which, of course, means you need to move. This place isn't going to be safe anymore.
Perhaps.
Your call, of course. So, how can I help you? Exactly.
We were trying to find the origin of this cab ride. We know that came from a single point before it got here. Obviously,
I should be able to make. She
she
says I should be able to make a few calls and get you that information, where the cab was before it arrived here. Which, of course, Vicky, you already know because you tampered with it.
Yeah. And we thought it prudent to alert the necessary authorities before we simply left a cab here with a dead body inside of it. We're not here to make any trouble, and we didn't want anyone to think that we were the cause of this person's demise.
The only people that come to Imperial Prime with the intention of not making trouble are tourists. Just being here is trouble. But I understand you're not trying to make a mess, and I appreciate that. And Booker did the right thing calling me. You could have just called anyone, and, well, you'll find the bureaucracy on this planet is a little more immersive than you're going to find elsewhere. The outer sector planets, I hear you can still get things done. And she looks inside and she says to you, "So have you, Nomi? Have you received any death threats? Any unusual communications lately? Any reason to think that someone might be targeting you above and beyond you just being here?"
Yes, before we came to the surface, I was made aware of certain threats against my life, but this is the first such correspondence we've received.
Do you know this man? Relative of yours? Cousin, maybe?
I do not, and our efforts to look up any more information about him were fruitless.
Another
What do you
reason
mean?
why I thought it prudent to call you.
Yeah, and so that she kind of hiccups on. She's like, "No information at all. Signet gave you nothing." And the tone is like, "That's impossible." Like, and she looks at Booker like,
Booker looks
it's
back
just
like
it's just a
yeah.
serpent.
When she says that and locks eyes with Booker, Booker's like, I know.
Yeah, like, that's
Mm.
weird.
Yeah. So now she's like, okay, this isn't just like some weird death threat. So she says to you, Nomi, "Do you have any enemies? Spurned suitors? Anybody you dueled and won and didn't finish them off? Some
Kicked out
people
of
that
a
might have a
job.
vendetta?" Did you say anything, Nomi?
I genuinely don't know.
I mean, it's up to
So
you. Like, I think it's reasonable for you to say no to that.
yeah.
But if at this point you wanted to introduce, like, of course, Nomi has many enemies, you could reply in the affirmative and be like, I don't know.
Right.
Maybe I do.
It's possible that whoever sent this body to meet us is aware of our purpose here on the surface. I'm not sure of their motives currently. Either they were aware of that and thus they're trying to threaten us into making a decision which they will agree with, in which case we need to find out who they are and who they're trying to influence us toward. Or there could be some more sinister purpose that we're unaware of at the moment. Perhaps simply because I'm a Serpens and am here on the surface.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, you can send a message to someone by killing one of their serfs or a bunch of their serfs, but to kill a person like this and then just send their body to you, someone you're not even connected to, that doesn't make any sense at all. And she scowls like, this doesn't, yeah, she's just like weirded out by it.
Yeah. Perhaps there is a connection that I am unaware of yet.
Hard to know if you can't get access to his records.
Quick question for Adam, Space Master Adam.
Yeah.
What was the name of the terrorist lady in the organization? Alexander Carson?
Karsten. Yeah.
Karsten? Yeah.
And what was but she was part of a group, right?
Yes, the larger group. I don't think we ever gave, let me look her up. I don't think we ever gave Karsten like a specific sub branch of the multifaceted super-headed hydra that is the UPC.
The UPC, that's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah. Yes, she was part of some part of the Unified People's Collective. People are reminding me she's part of the DRF, which is one of these like several million. Let me look. But
it's
yeah,
all
anyway,
under the header of the UPC, basically.
Yeah, right. The Democratic Revolutionary Front. That's right. Yeah, yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah, Alexander Carson.
Yeah.
She was the boss of that front, and then now they're falling apart because she's gone.
Yeah, I think I might like just look over to Nomi and just. I don't want to necessarily mouth it, but I'd probably be thinking about this to talk about later. I don't necessarily trust this.
You give her the like read my mind face, so that you can
no, not really. No, it's more like he looks over to her to think like I should mention that later if Nomi, because to Gabriel it looks like maybe she's forgotten about it, so he's like maybe that's connected somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Trying to play a super paranoid character means that I have to like try and think of like, oh god, what can I be paranoid about?
Yeah, what is the worst thing that could be happening? I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says assassinations aren't unheard of, but you don't assassinate somebody just to prove a point. And if you're going to do that, you assassinate the person who matters. If they were coming after you directly, why not just, put the knife in your neck? Why this guy? And she stares at him. She's like, "The fuck are you?" And you can see her kind of like doing. And Booker, you haven't seen her in a long time, and maybe you assumed that she had just gone soft and become a politician or whatever. But she's making a face, and you can almost feel the way her brain is working right now, because you that's what you do. That is your thing. And so she's just like detectiving this whole situation. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Or like a slight smile on his face. Is he like, yeah, you haven't gone completely soft.
And she turns and she says, she starts to say something, and then and Crusader interrupts her quip.
I probably would now. If she starts to speak, I wouldn't interrupt her. It would just be like, this is just internal thinking.
Yeah, she was just gonna shit talk
Booker
anyway. So yeah, she just looks back at Booker like, there's plenty of action on Imperial Prime. And then goes back to looking at the body. And then she notices the panel has been tampered with, and she looks at it and she says,
"Whoops."
She says, "Oh, hang on a second. Somebody's been," and she steps over the body and like crouches down. "Somebody's been messing with this cab."
Yeah,
she turns and like looks back at you.
We did that. You want to take us in, you can, but I hardly think that's the more important crime here. Trying to track down where this cab came from, naturally.
And she nods and she says, "Well, I'm not going to say anything, but it's going to go on the record. What were you looking for?"
I believe that we were attempting to prevent the car from returning back to the company that owns it. And then Captain Tip, I'm not quite sure of exactly what the purpose was, but we need to make sure that the information of the location.
Vicky, would you like to make a notice roll to see that bus before Mark throws you under it, or do you just let it happen?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So cool. You see it coming, and it just runs you right over.
Thanks.
Yeah. So she looks. She casts a
Not like
glance
you
over
helped
it.
me.
Yeah, right. It's like you were like, no, the blue wire. So she says, she's like, I'm sure it's fine. You needed to take a look at the scene. Well, we can have forensics process the vehicle. We'll take the body back, see what we can find out. And she turns to Booker and she says, and I can stay in touch with you, or should I go through the Cirrus?
You can stay in touch with me if you'd like. I'm sure the Cirrus would appreciate being kept in the loop. Up to you, Cirrus.
So she says, I'll keep the loop keeping up to you. I'll have some, and I think she hits a button on her like wrist computer thing, and and she's like, I'll have some men here. We'll handle the case from here officially. But if you learn anything else, let me know right away, and I'll do the same for you.
Will do. Appreciate you coming out like this. Know you're busy.
And she nods. She grins again, says, "Yeah, I am, but I always make time for old friends, right?"
Good to see you too.
So if you don't want to spend the next 4 hours being interviewed by street cops, you should make yourself scarce. I can tell them that I already had a conversation with you. But if it's safe, once you relocate, if you choose to, let me know where you are. I can make sure we have some patrols go by on the regular. Keep an eye out for anything untoward.
Yeah, he gives her a nod and looks towards Nomi and the rest. Like, she's right, we should move.
All right. So where are you going to go? What are you going to do?
To grieve the
your location.
No, I'm just kidding.
We have the address for the cab, and then we have the
That's right.
Crusaders person that he wants to talk to.
Abbot. Yeah. Oh, I have a name for her now. If you want to write it down,
Yeah.
Mark. Her name is
Yeah.
Jacqueline Mead. Yeah, Abbot Jacqueline.
More
Mead.
food names. Yes.
Oh yeah,
Good.
right. Mead. with
I
an
too
E.
enjoy
Yeah.
Jackal and Mead once in
You
a while.
know, I'm just never gonna
Sure, her
name
name can't
anyone
be Anna.
anything anymore.
We've already had our
That's
fill of
right. Her
salami.
name is
Now we need
Anna
some-
AnneMunitions.
Munition.
And this is her best friend, Malk Hummus.
It all comes back to food items.
Mhm. Yeah.
I can always go and speak with my contact independently if it is required, but you are more than welcome to come if you wish. I am concerned, as she mentioned, we may need a new safe house. Clearly, there are now 2 people aware of 2 groups potentially, unless this immortal association is connected somehow, but they knew where we would be. And it does seem like we should consider somewhere else. I do not have any friendly contacts where we can stay here on Imperial Prime. Captain Tip or Agent Greaves, I don't know if that's something that you may have more experience with.
I have a couple
Mm.
places in mind we could go if needed.
I feel like, in a way, Captain Tip may be the safer bet, as she is the unknown, having only joined us recently and not having a direct connection to Crux, shall we say.
That
But
makes sense.
I can
whatever we can get.
look into it. I have to see if any of my comrades are serving here, running a job here. They might have something.
So investigate the scene.
I'm hesitant to involve any more Serpents in this investigation, as one has already died as a result of my presence.
I'll put some feelers out. I've got friends in strange places.
Okay. Do you want to let's connect roles for everybody? So what do you want to do? How do you set up this thing for me? Because connect can be for like social
Yeah.
stuff or like say you want. So what do you want? You tell me what you
This
want.
isn't a
and I'll-
professional contact. This because
Okay.
I know earlier I was talking about putting my feelers out for somebody who would like know what was going on the planet. This is going to be more of like maybe we saved each other's asses at some point, or we ran a job together, or maybe ran private security for an asshole sometime and bonded over drinks over what a douchebag.
Okay, so
our
this
employee
this
was.
person is a former deathless
Yeah.
mercenary. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Buddy, a
let me get
pal.
that. Okay. You have a gender for this person, so I can make up a name for you to make fun of.
Sure. Let's say it's a dude. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what rank did this person achieve before they left the service?
I want to say they left probably sooner than I did, so probably just under me somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I want to say I probably knew them early on in my career.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that sounds good. Let me take a look. Here we go. Deathless hierarchy. This is very complicated. All right, Deathless, you did it. Here we go. Okay, so they were an officer. You're a captain. So what do you think, Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel?
Sure. Let's do
Okay,
Colonel.
Let's make him a colonel. Okay. All right. I feel like as soon as you become a colonel, you just get a brush cut and a cigar. Like I think that's just the rule of being a colonel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. How else are you gonna have gravitas?
Exactly. That's right. And then you give it up and you become a captain.
Mhm.
All right, and let's come up with a name for your girlfriend here. Let's see.
Perhaps Colonel Crackers?
I mean, a colonel is part of corn, and corn is food.
Colonel Crunch?
You're right. He tried to become a captain, and he just couldn't make it.
Mhm.
Okay. So his name is Colonel Robert Modesto.
Try to turn that
Colonel
name into
Modesto.
food.
Good luck. Sounds like a
All right.
brand of pasta.
You know what? So yeah, good. So
Colonel
he
Pesto.
and he lives on Imperial Prime. What is he now? Like a security contractor, or is he retired?
He's a consultant now.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
he consults.
Independent
So
consultant.
rich people hire him to come look at their security and see if it's up to snuff.
Okay. Cool. Former deathless. Got it. Okay. So what do you need him to do for you?
Either provide us with lodgings or point us out to some place that would be a good place, secure place to lodge.
Okay.
New
Oh,
safe house.
I read these backwards. If he's a colonel, he's a colonel, he outranks you. Hierarchies run bottom to top, not top to bottom, kids. So he'd be a first lieutenant.
Okay, sounds good.
There you go. Okay. All right. So, Lieutenant Modesto, he's gonna try to hook you up with like a safe house somewhere you can stay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's have you
He
make
has
a
an
connect
injury.
roll.
He walks with a cane.
Oh. Okay.
And
So
that's why
he
he had to leave. And that's why he only
Oh,
consults
okay.
now. Yeah. He
So
had
and
a
his injury
grievous
his injury would have to be more than like it'd have to be complicated enough that a
Right. A mod
cybernetic
didn't
limb.
fix it. Yeah.
So it would be like a degenerative disease or something, maybe. Like
Spinal
not a
damage.
combat
cool, too.
injury, but
Maybe
yeah.
we could have it to where he suffered some nerve damage.
Nerve damage. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
And he couldn't afford like triangulum level repairs.
Right.
Got it. Okay. Okay, cool. So he can't fight. Got it. Okay, that's cool. Grizzled
And he's
Modesto.
bitter about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. As any deathless would be, right? Because the whole thing about being a deathless is like not every soldier is whatever, but he's not a soldier, right? It's like you can't be that anymore. You're not in the club. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's make that roll.
Okay.
So it's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be connect with
connecting
charisma?
charisma. Yeah, and I think for this, like, yeah, nine or better to get like exactly what you need. Otherwise, there might be some additional like cost or work you gotta put
Okay.
in. Sick. This guy loves you.
We're
and He's
besties.
like
I had
ready
already
to
decided
help.
that if I rolled shitty, I was just gonna say I slept with his wife or some shit, but now I don't have to resort to that sort of degeneracy. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, cool. All right. So he thinks you're great.
Mhm.
You're like one of the few people in the Deathless he doesn't like think about spitefully, like those assholes. But you, it's okay. It's fine. Okay. So is this the kind of person that you would contact through like impersonal means, or you're like, we need to go and see my friend, he can help us out?
Friend, yeah, we rolled 12.
Yeah.
We're close. We're buddies.
Okay. So do you take your group to go see him, or do you just go by yourself and you're like, I'm gonna go sort this out?
No. I'll take them.
Okay.
Why not?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We need a base of operations. So I'll tell the group. I know a guy. Didn't know he was on planet until recently, but apparently he is. We ran a couple ops together. So reliable. We're close. Can't say that about too many people. He could probably put us up. Heard he's doing really well for himself. He's in consulting now. You wanted a neutral party. He's not deathless anymore. He's as neutral as they come.
Can we rely on his discretion?
Most definitely. Discretion is what he does. His entire job is looking over security systems for different people and letting them know faults in the system. I think we could rely on him to be subtle and keep things to himself.
Very good.
Okay.
I'm comfortable putting this man at risk.
He can take
I'm
care of
assuming it's
himself.
deathless. He can take care of himself. Yes. Very good.
His combat days are behind him, but death isn't something he's afraid of.
We just gather all our stuff and then go.
Yeah, I imagine then that you're just there, right? Like we don't have to figure out. You take a cab and you get there. This cab is not full of any dead people. And yeah, you arrive. So he lives in a pretty like upscale part of Prime, one of the higher layers of Imperial Prime. He probably actually gets some like natural sunlight in his house. And it is part of a larger building, basically like a penthouse apartment. So it's got a big like glass wall on the front, and he has automated security. And maybe this tips like the rest of you off a little bit that he's like kind of in his private life, he's kind of like a paranoid shed in the sense that he knows that there are dangerous things out there and now he can't physically defend himself against them. So you have to go through like a scanner, and your weapons are like cataloged, and maybe you have to leave them in like there's like a door like vault. But you still haven't seen this dude. So right now the group of you are kind of going in. How much do you play into it? How much do you trust Bicky and like leave your weapons behind? Or are you like, no, this isn't safe?
Our comrades in arms. I'll leave my weapons behind.
Yeah, okay. So I mean you see Bicky doing that. So what about everybody else?
If she does, then I do.
Okay. Yeah, that was the real question. Like, do you trust Bicky with this? Gabriel, they don't think there's any like stealth stuff on your gun arm. But yeah, I think maybe you're the last one in there and everybody's like unloaded their weapons, and you're just standing in this scanner, and it's like, please surrender your weapons. And there's like a tray.
I just look at the three of them. I just shrug. If you need to go on without me and vouch for my nature, then I understand. I am perfectly willing to wait here. It is not as if I can disarm myself. And then I
There's a
internally
Disarm.
Yeah, I literally he rolls his eyes when he says it.
Like, I'm sorry I said that.
Yeah, he's like, I'm really sorry.
Right, the armory. There.
There's a crackle in the intercom overhead, and you hear a voice, and he says, "No, that's not going to be a problem, Padre. Just take the power cells out, put them in the tray."
I look around. I would prefer not to lose the use of my arm.
It's only for a little bit.
Yeah, and he's like, "Don't worry. This is a house of cripples, Padre. You're not going to be the only one."
I like this dude already.
Unarmed. I look at Nomi and Booker because at the minute, like, Bicky he trusts her, but not entirely, and so he being paranoid, he looks at Nomi and Booker expectantly, like, if you want me to do this, I'll do this, but yeah.
Like, is this where we're staying?
No, this is just the dude's house.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we're going to talk to him about where we can stay. Personally, I want to stay here. It's a fortress, but,
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to let us.
Modesto.
Yeah.
When Gabriel looks at me, then I say, perhaps now is a good time for you to investigate your other contact. If you feel comfortable leaving us here, then you could go on your own so that you don't have to disarm.
This is a safe place for you, and I am sure that it will. I'm sure that you can speak to the gentleman and assure him of my good intentions. And yes, I'm more than happy to do that if you wish, Cirrus.
Okay. We will connect later.
Very well. And then I'll make my way. I will kind of like give the look around, maybe like the building one last time, so I know I can jump back here if I need to. So kind of just familiarize myself with like just outside the scanner or something like that. And then nod, and then give Nomi and Booker the nod of like, I can get back here if I need to, and then make my way out.
Yeah, I find you can communicate. I have the ability to teleport over a great distance, and I will teleport here to return to help you fairly easily with a nod. I feel like that's
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
The old
So you
nose tap.
You turn and leave, and we stay with the other three. The back door of his little security airlock opens. You walk out. It closes. The front door of the security airlock opens, and you hear the clicking of nails on like a solid floor. You hear a jingling sound, and you hear excited low breathing, and then a big furry object comes like rushing up to you. And I think Nomi probably, Modesto's dog, like jumps up on you, and is like, it's a big like wolf hound, and he's just like panting and his tail's wagging, and this isn't like a barking at strangers thing, but this big dog just comes running up and like jumps up on you. What do you do?
It's like that kind of awkward thing that people do when they like are being jumped on by a dog, but they don't know how to like stop the dog because it's just huge and has jumped on you. So she's like trying to like simultaneously hold its weight up, but also get it to like get off of her without like yelling at it. You know?
Yeah. And so you hear a voice.
She's just like struggling under the weight.
You're like, well, what are we gonna do? And so you hear a voice behind say, "Damn it, get down, Parcheesi, come on!" And the dog like stops and like gets down and just like sniffing at you and kind of walking around the group of you. And this guy walks up, and he's wearing a like a black jacket or black blazer, and then a one of those like button-up shirts with no fold over collar, like the round collar kind of thing. And he's got just like a pair of slacks, and he's walking with as you mentioned, like a metal cane, and yeah, and he's got this like weathered kind of like wrinkled look. His hair is it's gone gray at the temples, and yeah, he's got a bit of a 5 o'clock shadow coming in, and he walks in, and yeah, and he like pats his thigh, and the dog Parcheesi comes like running back over to him. He like scratches her behind the ears, and he looks up, and he sees you, and he's like, I'm sorry about Parcheesi there, m'lady." He like bows. She gets excited.
It's no problem. And she's like kind of like straightening her clothes. She's all like ruffled.
Yeah. We don't get a lot of guests. And he looks and he says, "What, the Godbotherer didn't want to join us?" He looks at you, Becky.
No, he's a little sensitive about his arm. It's a new acquisition. You know how it is.
He nods. And he says, "Yeah, damn right I do." He looks at you, Booker, like, who the fuck's this guy?
I brought the
He doesn't
cops.
say anything. I just look at him.
Yeah, they just
I'm
look
gonna
at
have
each
him
other.
arrest you. I'm gonna like flip him shit.
Yeah.
Finally putting you
And
away, old man.
He says, "Well, it's about time. I figured you and I would have to come to a tussle. Old Gunslinger's Road only ends in one place." And he like
Yeah, you
throws
wish, bud.
his cane aside. He kind of wobbles a little. He's like, kind of does the like wiggling his hand by his hip thing. It's like, "I'll give you the count of 3 and get your lily liver carcass out of my sight. 1, 2. What's the one that comes after that? Damn, I'm getting confused in my old age." And he comes over and he just like comes over and grabs you and like slaps you on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And
I give him like a gruff hug back.
Yeah, and he says, "Goddamn, it's been too long." He looks you up
How
and
you
down.
doing?
Yeah, looks like you've been doing all right for yourself. You're moving in high company now, huh? Looks at
How many
looks at the Sears.
freaking levels we had to ascend to get to your place? You're one to talk. Fucking sitting pretty up here in your little tower.
Well, you know, gotta have somewhere to bring the ladies home. And when he says that, he looks over at Parcheesi, who's standing there with her like food bowl in her mouth, just like staring at you, like, "Will you give me food?" And he shakes his head and he's like, "Oh, Parcheesi, you dumb bitch. Get out of here." And he like takes her bowl and throws it across the room, and she like runs off after it and gets it and comes running back, and he just shakes his head. He's like, "Ah, damn it." Sounded like you were in trouble. You want a drink? And he like just walks. He picks up his cane and walks off into the other room.
I'd love one. I like follow him and just kind of beckon to everyone else to come along.
Okay.
Do you get any
Booker
of the
and
good stuff?
Nomi, are you doing anything, or are you just follow along?
Drink? Following?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, no, I just follow.
All right. Yeah, so you walk into his his dining room. It's a big wooden desk or a big wooden table, maybe actual wood. And behind, and it looks like you can tell right away that he's the only person who ever eats here. Like only one of the chairs ever gets moved. All the rest of them have kind of like dust on them. And then behind his chair, there's a gun rack. And on it, there's like a half dozen very expensive, very fancy looking weapons. And then at the other end of the table, there is an empty seat. And then behind that, there's the window. And you can see out into the sort of laneways of Imperial Prime. You see vehicles coming and going. And there's just like the last little bit of sunset as the sun kind of sets over the spires of the city, and there's like an orange light kind of coming into the room, and you can see dust motes hanging in the air. He walks over to a sidebar and takes out a glass bottle and pours. I guess he pours like 5 glasses, and he turns around with two in hand. He gives one to Bicky and turns to Booker and Nomi, and he says, "Drink, my lord, my lady."
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah. So he takes the other 2 and he hands them to you, and there's this empty glass, and he holds it up, and he says, "First one's for the dead," and he just pours it on the floor. And then he sets it down.
Yeah, pour one
and
out
as
for the
soon
homies.
as soon as it hits as soon as the liquor hits the floor, you hear a faint hiss, and a little like cleaning robot like zzz, like comes over to like suck it up.
Oh, I thought
And then
Parcheesi was going to have it.
Nope, this thing's too fast for Parcheesi.
Straight up Harrison Ford and
Parcheesi does. You do hear a follow up though. There's the metal clatter of the bowl landing on the floor, and then Parcheesi barks at the robot until it goes away. And then he turns with the other glass and he says, "And the rest for us." And he holds it up, and he says, "Old friends." And before
Old
anybody
friends.
gets to respond or do anything, he just drinks the whole thing and puts the glass down.
I'm gonna slam it too. Match them drink
Yeah.
for drink.
Okay.
Sames. I mean, this is normal for Booker, so it's whatever.
And cool. And Nomi, do you just like sip it, or are you gonna go all
No,
in?
she just takes like a very small sip and just like holds it politely.
Yeah. He sets it down. It's good. It's not fancy in the sense that it doesn't require much of a palate to. It's like like a special edition Jack Daniels. Like it's probably expensive and kind of nice, but it's the top of the bottom, and that's just the way he likes it. And he so he drinks it and he sets it down, and he says, he turns to you, Vicky, and he says, "Well, what is it? What do you need?"
I need your help. I'm gonna cash in that favor I earned a long time ago.
Huh. I was sort of hoping on holding on to that one. Nice to know you've got one in the pocket, but well, all right. What can I do for you? What do you need?
Well, I'm here running bodyguard detail, and our safe house has been compromised. I need a lead on another one, unless you want to let me crash on your couch.
You meet shield for one of these two?
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of squints and he looks at Booker. And he looks at Nomi. And he's like, gotta be her. This one looks like he can hold his own in a fight.
Well, that
No
and
offense,
this one doesn't
milady.
look This one also doesn't look like he's worth paying my price to protect. Am I right?
So Booker, you just get like just a massive pile of shade hurled at you. So
Wait,
just huge. It's
you
coming.
were saying
Just
I
sits on
can't
its own.
hold my own in a fight?
No, well,
no, I'm
he
just saying
said
no one would ever
he's-
pay my rates to
Right.
protect you.
that's
So
right.
that
She's
I
like,
can
I'm
hold
very
it.
expensive. Yeah. Yeah. He said that Nomi didn't look like she could hold her own in a fight and needs protection. And that Booker, you look kind of tough. And then Vicky was like, yeah, but also nobody cares about this dirtbag.
I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, right.
Let
So when
them
you
talk amongst
don't
each other, that works.
Yeah, when you don't rise to the bait, he nods and he's like, smarter than you look too. And he looks at you like, see, there are people in the world, Bicky, that are smarter than you, and we don't take your shit. And this guy's one of those guys. And he says, so you figure there's trouble and you need somewhere to hide out.
Wish I figured there's trouble. I know there is. Yeah, place to get set up, put out some feelers. We got a sort of grisly message sent to us this morning via cab. Made it pretty clear that they knew our location. Needed a nice neutral place to stay, or at least a lead on a good place to shack up for a few days.
They follow you here?
No. We checked to the
Are
area.
you sure? And you can
Pretty
see him
sure.
like like there's a little crazy gets into his eyes when he says that, where you're like, you haven't seen this part of him before. There's something in there where when he says like,
This is
are
new?
you sure? Yeah, you
Yeah.
catch a little of the like, how do you know?
Well, reasonably sure.
Not in the business of being followed.
No. You in the business of doing the following?
Booker just kind of like,
So, the plan's just to hide out and wait for it to blow over, or are we talking about setting a trap?
Haven't figured out the details on that yet. I need more information. Need a chance to blend in with the locals. Put some feelers out. Figure it out who has it in for the little lady.
He turns to look at Nomi, and he asks you the same question that the Crux officer of the Kriegsherr did. You got any enemies?
Before today, I thought not, but it seems that I have acquired some over the years.
Yeah. You may not know it, but you were born with enemies. Some of us, he gestures to like Vicky, we accumulate them over time, like barnacles. You folk, you're born with them. Your parents have enemies, they're yours. Your grandparents, it's the same fucking thing. And he turns back to the table and he kind of like walks over to the window and he says, yeah, I can find you a place. Somewhere you can stay. Safe as I can manage. Nobody on this planet's gonna be able to find you somewhere that's really safe. Empire's fucking falling apart from the inside.
As long as it's safer than what we've got. Can you keep it off
Yeah.
the books?
Quiet, Parcheesi. We're talking. And he nods. It's like, yeah, of course. Though, and he looks at Booker and he's like, if you're working with the kind of people I think you're working with, maybe things are on the books you don't think they are.
What do you mean?
He shrugs
he's
and
talking about
says,
the recording I have of this entire conversation. It's being transmitted, of course, back to HQ.
right, and that is actually what he means. Like, he means you're fucking
Yeah.
hanging out with snitches and narcs, dude. Like,
Yeah.
these are the cops, so they at least will know where you are.
I know this one's got a leash.
Mad dog's a mad dog. But all right, you make your own decisions. I do this for you. We're square.
It did kind of save your ass big time. Feel like this counts as half a square.
I don't deal in no triangles. We're square or not.
All right.
Yeah, that's what
But
I thought.
I want a shiny from your case. Seal the deal.
Hey, he looks at you and he's like, "That's gonna require a different roll, asshole." So yeah, I mean, if you want to try to put the screws to him and get a free fancy gun, then maybe. But it's
They're
gonna be a tough one.
beautiful.
They are beautiful. It's true.
I'll try it.
Okay. Yeah, if you can get a 10 or better on a charisma and talk roll.
Okay.
Okay.
I
So
am a
instead-
partial expert. Could I re-roll that?
would you like to re-roll? Yeah, of course you can.
Wait, is it partial experts that get the re-roll, or do you have to be a full expert?
God, I don't know.
forget how
That's a clear
partial
rule.
experts count.
I
Damn
think you
it.
have to be
No, you
full,
can't then.
because I'm a partial.
Yeah, never
Yeah,
mind.
okay. Thank you, Max. So what he does, he instead of just straight up being like, no, he walks over to the rack. There's like a half dozen of these guns of various sorts. And he says, they are beautiful, aren't they? I can't remember the last time I fired a gun. Thank goodness. I mean, I know for some people it's what makes their dick hard, but not me. I just like having them, looking at them. This one's new for my current clients. And he points at it's like a mag rifle. And it is beautiful. Like it's an elegant weapon. And he says, sometimes working for the reticulum pays off, but they're mine. I find you a safe house. That's it. We're good.
It's fair. Probably shouldn't dismantle your collection anyway.
Yeah, you
When you
damn
die, you're
right.
probably gonna leave them to me anyway, right?
Fuck no. I'm gonna be buried with my dog and my guns. I want them to blow up my house when I go.
I like that.
And he looks at you, Nomi, and you still got like most of your drink. And he says, "You folks ate."
We have not.
I'm a little hungry.
Thank God somebody said something. I am fucking starving.
Booker's like, one more of these drinks, I would have been on the floor, dude. Let's get some food up in this joint. Yeah.
For
So
real.
he said, yeah, he says, all right, I'll make something. And he just like he just walks off, just leaves to go into the kitchen to make you dinner.
I'm gonna go help him. I feel terrible. He's my buddy.
He does not allow it. He's just like, fuck no, you are guests in my house. Get the fuck out of here. Go get yourself another drink. Enjoy the view.
Booker does it when he went. Like Booker just grabs the bottle and like sits down and pours himself another drink. Like I like this
That's
guy's
right.
style.
Being ejected out of the kitchen, I just like kind of like grind my feet absentmindedly on the floor, and I'm just like stubborn old fuck. Just kind of like walk back over and stare at the guns.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So meanwhile, Gabriel, let's go and meet with your friend. So where are you gonna head? You're gonna go and meet this person.
Well, I had to meet Jacqueline, yeah. Abbot
Yeah, but
Mead.
where do you want to do that?
Oh, I don't know. Where, because she sent the message with an address. Like, would she have picked somewhere in particular?
Yeah, I mean,
Or
that's
is
sort
it
of
down
sorry.
to
That's sort of the
me to
question,
pick?
right? Is like,
Right, okay.
where do you think she would have wanted to meet with you? Would it be like in a church environment? Would it be somewhere else? Like, what do you?
It'd be somewhere she would feel safe and can maintain that she's just an abbot who's there to give advice. So, yeah. Or like maybe like the house where she's working, maybe she has like an office there or something like that.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Where
Alright,
she's
let
got the
me
power, I imagine. She would want to, know when neutral because that puts her on equal
Yeah, and
level with me in
that's
some
sort of
way.
what I was
If you're
wondering
gonna
is
come
if
to me,
if she sets this up, then yeah,
I think with that
it would
3,
be
it would
something
make
like that.
sense as well. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, you follow the address. You take a
Mhm.
car, and it leads you to um it leads you to a like a building, like a compound basically, and the cab stops. The cab gets scanned. Something about like they called for you, and you're set. That allows you through, but there was a security scan before you arrive,
Mhm.
and you go through like it's like a gate, but it's in the air. It's a floating like a ring essentially, and so you go through this
Mm.
circular opening into a cluster of connected and like architecturally impossible with the technology of most of the world. Like there are these metal or concrete or something like spheres basically that are connected by little tubes. It looks like a big molecule, and part of it is
Mm.
supported by like anti-grav, and it's this big compound of connected like buildings, and the vehicle approaches, and when it pulls up, you are met by there's a young man in a gray suit, who has
Mm.
the house triangulum sigil like on a pin on it. Um,
Mm.
and when you arrive, this person bows to you, and he says, "Crusader Gabriel, I presume. The abbot is expecting you."
I nod my head. I actually haven't had a chance to send this to you yet, Adam.
Yeah.
But just so you know that Gabriel, before he became a priest, was Triangulum. So I haven't sent you the full background, but
Oh,
this is his
interesting.
family is Triangulum. So I need to
Okay,
send you this. I
cool.
just started working it before we started streaming. So
No, I like that.
okay,
Okay, so there's a moment of like
yeah,
familiarity
there's
here
that
where you're like,
realization of like he sees the badge, nods. Uh, he says, "Yes, I'm here to meet with the abbotess, and you are."
Uh, and he puts a hand up like, okay, you don't. This is not a conversation we need to have. He says,
Mm.
I am no one, Crusader. I'm
Ah,
just here to make sure that you make it where you need to go."
very well.
And yeah, and so he takes you, and he's expert at making like small talk if you engage. So
Mm.
he says, like, "I hope you have found your time on Imperial Prime pleasant so far, Crusader. When was the last time that you were here?"
A very long time ago. The stay has been eventful so far, but not unpleasant.
Mm.
And
Yes,
just like he
I
keeps it
have.
like really shut down.
Yeah, and the two of you make this kind of like small talk just to
Hmm.
fill the space.
Hmm.
And he leads you to a door, which is sitting open. You can hear the faint sound of like kind of there's music coming from the other room. It's I think it's probably like a string quartet. But it's not
Mm.
live. It sounds recorded, and there's like a weird like scratchiness or like graininess to the sound.
Mm.
Um, and he says, "The abbot mead awaits," and opens the door for you.
Thank you. I'll step inside.
Okay, yeah. So you go inside. So this is clearly like the office or the study of the
Mm.
abbot. Uh, the I found a fan casting for her too. She's played by Molly Parker, who I didn't know was from Vancouver. So there you go. I learned something today. So she has like red hair.
Yep.
She's wearing just like a simple kind of like ivory like blouse. You can't see her legs because she's sitting at her desk and she's
Hmm.
working on a data pad. So she's just like writing some notes. There is music playing from some kind of built-in sound system, but playing quietly. You can smell some kind of like tea or something in the air, like an herbal tea. And
Hmm.
she's got a saucer sitting in front of her, and you can see the teacup with the steam coming off of it. And there are two servants dressed in triangulum outfits, one of which appears to be filing books on a shelf, and the other is doing that servant thing where they're just standing there in case somebody needs them. And when you walk in, Jacqueline, the Abbot Mead, she stands up and takes a step to the side of her desk so that she can like walk to meet you.
Yeah, and walk over to her, bow very deeply.
Yeah, and she says, I guess, would she know you as Crusader Gabriel or Chaplain Valencio or?
Valencio Gabriel was his name, probably during his Spec Ops things. He's kind of used like both over time. It's the same name he's used. It's different to his Triangulum name, but Valencio Gabriel is the name he used during as part of the church. So she would know him as both.
And it would be appropriate to refer to you as Crusader because Chaplain was just like your ship role temporarily. Right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, that makes.
I think she'd probably know me well enough that she could just say Gabriel as well, or Valencio.
Yeah, it's a choice, right? So you bow, and she bows slightly less deeply than you did, and she says, I think she's polite enough not to straight up just be like, "What happened to your arm?" So she just says, "Crusader, so good to see you again. It's been so very long. Would you like some tea?" And like as she's saying it, you can see the servant be like, "I'm about to make tea happen." Like he's already there, ready. What do you say? Would you like some tea?
That would be lovely. Abbot,
and it's already like going into a teacup you didn't know was there, and then it is like handed to you, and she gestures to her seat and she says, "Please sit."
Thank you.
She comes around the table and she sits down.
Yes, it has been some time. I'm sorry to intrude on you so abruptly. I hope I've not disturbed anything.
It's so nice to see an old friend. How have you been? And her eyes like flick to your arm. Like obviously not well, but like
I have had some unexpected events in my new role with House Crux. But such is the manner of the world, sadly.
Not in my experience. As they say. Not in my experience, Gabriel.
She looks around. He looks. Go on.
Yeah. She says, we choose the world we live in. I mean, God sets the wind blowing, but we decide which way to aim the boat. I always knew something like this would happen to you. I've been worried about you, Gabriel.
Well, I'm pleased to hear of your concern, and no doubt I am deserving of some comeuppance. But and he kind of looks to the servants. What house are you now serving with? This seems to be a very well-suited position for you. What family? Sorry, not house.
Yeah. My my services to the House of Triangulum span several families. They keep me very busy. I've been doing some work with scientific ethics. It's fascinating stuff.
You'll have to tell me about it sometime. Would it be possible to speak with you privately about something? It is a personal matter that I'd hope to discuss with you.
So she doesn't understand that, like, she's like, well, we are speaking privately. There are no other people in the room. Right? Like, she kind of quirks her eyebrow. Like, you'll have to nudge her a little for her to understand what you mean.
Yes. I say, like, and then I just say, like, yes. He will, like, just gently gesture towards one of the servants. Perhaps I'm not as accustomed to having assistants around me so much. But I'd feel more comfortable if it was just the two of us.
I think you'll find life somewhat easier when you have people to help you bear the burden, but I suppose. And she just waves, like, get the fuck out of here. And they're gone. Like, they're ready to go before you even say anything.
Yeah.
And then, and now you're alone in the room. And the only sound is the music that's playing quietly in the background. She's got this big, like window behind her, and we're getting that same sunset that we saw in the other scene, but it's coming down through the window, and it's giving the whole room sort of a gold, like an amber glow, and and so you can hear the music playing. There's a moment of quiet. An angel passes over, and Yeah, and so she just kind of leans forward, like curiously.
It takes a
Okay.
moment. He's just like, "It is, thank you. It is. It's good to see you, Jacqueline, if I may. Um, there was something, and I understand if, given how things went the last time we spoke, if you are not as willing to assist me, but I hope that you will hear me out. Your previous expertise, I would very much greatly like your help with something. I need to know about somebody here on Imperial Prime, and I know that, well, some things never change. It is something of a concern to the greater empire and to a number of people that I wish to look after, shall we say.
I pity anyone who has that sort of attention from you. I know the way you look after people, Gabriel.
Perhaps I was wrong, Jacqueline. That is something that I've come to learn over these years. And he kind of
You have
the arm.
changed. Yeah, like she's just like, wow, you're just gonna lead with like you're admitting that you were wrong. That's different. Okay, so she's
Yeah.
like a little like disarmed
Yeah.
by that.
He kind of gestures towards the arm. I've had reasons to doubt some things of late. Before, I was a man who was pursuing what he thought was right, that what he thought God was leading him to do. Lately, I've begun to doubt that. But what I don't doubt is that there is someone who is trying to harm somebody that I have given my word that I would protect. And they are connected to this individual, but my own skills in discovering who they are have been somewhat limited. I know that we do not see eye to eye back when we work together, but you are someone I trust, somebody who I believe would want to do the right thing.
What is
You
and
can help me.
isn't the right thing has often been a point of contention between the two of us.
Like I said, I was wrong.
And yet here you are asking me for information about someone. And if I tell you, then what? What will you do with that information?
Do my best to protect the person that may be the target of someone working against the Empire. I have changed, as I told you.
You can say that, but I have no reason to believe you.
True. Frederick Lang, House Serpents. I heard briefly that he may have been a scryer, which I believe is something connected to your old sensibilities. Do you know the
I
name?
have worked with the scryers from time to time. Lang, it's not a familiar name to me, but I might be able to ask.
Quietly, discreetly, as you used to.
I don't really do this sort of thing anymore, Gabriel.
I know.
I've tried to
know.
wash my hands of it. Too much blood in that game.
Yes, and I'm afraid that there may be a little blood in this one as well. You'll find that Frederick Lang, reports of his death will no doubt follow soon. He was killed, I believe, to send a message to someone. That's who I'm trying to assist. I want to make sure that the same thing doesn't happen to them.
And what
But
will you
he's
do to
locked
prevent?
down.
What will you do to prevent further bloodshed?
You know
I
what
suppose
I
there's
will
nothing
do
to be done
prevent
about. There's nothing to be done about Frederick Lang, if he's as dead as you say. But I know the way that you solve problems, and you say that you've changed. But I have a conscience to attend to.
I know you do. Ethics is a good match for you, Jacqueline. I have my skills, Jacqueline. You know what those are. You've seen them firsthand. But if I am a blade, then it can be wielded in different ways. I'm not the dagger in the back that I used to be. I can only do one thing, but I am trying to do something which I believe is genuinely right, not just an order, not just a dictation from on high, something I truly believe is helping someone that I believe is good for this empire and good for people. I've seen them do good things. There's
I've
someone
had
I
to
believe.
answer. I've had to answer for myself a question many times since the last time we spoke, Gabriel, about the nature of evil, about an evil act performed with good intentions, where goodness lies. And I know that ours is a faith of both the book and the sword, but I tried to put that sword down, and now here you are. I'll ask around about this Frederick Lang, and I'll tell you what I learned, but you have to promise me that this isn't going to end in bloodshed. If you find that someone is after this patron of yours, that you'll take them away from here and protect them. This won't turn into you hunting down their enemies. Killing only begets more killing. You have to know this.
There are some things that I can see that we still have much to debate, and whilst I know that my company may be an unpleasant reminder, perhaps this is the kind of conversation I need to have more often. I will do my best. They have their own things that they must accomplish, and my desire is to assist them. If they
I have
must
no
remain
interest.
on Imperial Prime,
I have no
then
interest in being your shepherd, Gabriel. If you're here to unburden your soul to me, you've made a mistake. You left that flock.
fair. Let me put it this way then. Someone was killed to send a message. Now, as far as I know, this Frederick Lang was an innocent. Somebody that does not deserve that death. Whoever's done it could likely strike someone else. If there's anything I know about you, it's that you would want to prevent my meaningless death. Killing does beget more killing, but sometimes, action must be taken to protect the greater good. That's what I'm trying to do here. I will do my best, and I am trying to stop this in the best way that I can. But if you don't help me, this person may strike again, and another innocent life may fall in a pointless nobility nonsense. I don't understand many of these matters, but somebody may die. And if you can give me some information, that might prevent that.
It seems
your
to me
choice.
that it seems to me that this is a season for protecting vipers. You have your mission, I suppose. I'll ask around. I'll see what I can find out for you.
I can ask no more.
She nods.
I'm sorry.
And she sort of smirks when you say I'm sorry, like, yeah, you're sorry, but you're still here, right? You're still here fucking up my life. Like, great. Thanks for apologizing. Yeah, and she says, I have a sermon to prepare.
Of course. You won't hear from me again, but thank you. And I'll just get up, bow.
She makes a face at you like, I'd love to believe that. Like, okay, you can say that, but we'll see. And yeah, and then she just kind of like stands up with you, does the body language like the conversation's over, you should leave.
Yeah, he leaves.
Okay. All right. So you you walk out. And yeah, and I think we stay with her. She sits back down and she sips like a little bit of her tea. The music clicks off wherever it's playing from. And she opens a drawer in her desk and she takes out a fairly like fancy looking comm unit, like a phone basically. And she presses a single button, so whoever this is on like speed dial. And there's a moment. She holds it to her ear, and then she says, "Yes." Yes, he was just here. Lang, that's right. And then you hear a click, and she like looks at the phone sort of ruefully, and then puts it back in the drawer and slides the door shut.
I hate my life.
Hey man, you rolled a
all
3.
of it.
You rolled a
know.
3.
Good.
You rolled a 3.
job,
I gotta role
Mark.
play it. I gotta role play it.
I know, it's perfect.
Look.
It's great. Mark,
Sorry.
take inspiration.
Thanks.
So
Dole us out.
Wow, Adam, I know what that means. Way to just shit on me. Hey, great job. Great
that's
job.
what I
You
hate
fucked
about
everyone. Have pointless nothing. Have
Thank
nothing.
you. Yes. Oh my God. Let's talk. I'm gonna make a note. Let's talk about this in the post show. This is some good post show shit. Yeah. Sometimes take inspiration.
Well, Mark
as,
just
"Fuck
lost
you."
us
Just
the
throw
game.
I'm just gonna throw Gabriel off the nearest bridge. He's done. I'm done. Kill him.
Yeah.
He teleports to the sun.
So Booker,
Knowing Gabriel
Nomi,
wouldn't make it because you'd have to find a way to fuck that
Yeah, I'd
up
fail. I'd
too.
fuck that up too. Yeah. Thanks, Bronze. Yep, cool. I'm just
I mean,
gonna.
I guess if you're a teleporter of certain skill, you can just teleport yourself into the atmosphere and be dead. Like that's a real good way to off yourself at that point. Or just be like, well, I'm just gonna teleport as far up as I can. The end. So
Cool.
meanwhile, Booker, Nomi, and Bicky, you have dinner with this dude. If anybody is interested in any further stuff in that scene, you're welcome to talk to him or look around. If not, you have dinner and then you get he basically calls a car from like a private service and takes you to this. He sends you to this safe house.
What did we have for dinner?
Steak, motherfucker. Steak. Expensive ass space beef. And it's the best. This guy does not fuck around. But he
Nice.
doesn't brag
I'm not
about it. He doesn't
surprised.
talk about like the ranch it came from. He doesn't talk about any of that shit. He's just like, steak, you get it rare. You want it any other way? Get out of my house.
Oh, and don't
Um,
ask for any kind of like barbecue sauce because he will slap you across your worthless
Right.
face.
Yeah. It's a steak. You get it on a plate with a
Yeah.
knife and a fork, and that's
And
it.
that's
and
all
eat
you
it.
need. Yeah. And if you ask
Yeah.
for anything, God be with you.
I eat my steak
Exactly.
sometimes with steak sauce because I like.
Yeah, I mean, you're allowed.
Unless you want to be slapped across the face with a steak, don't do that
Not
either.
as Booker, okay? Booker's just, happy he's got booze and chilling with some great thick ass steak. That's great for him. That's awesome.
Mhm.
I thought you were about to call the lieutenant, the thick ass lieutenant.
Fucking
I was
thick
gonna
ass
be like-
lieutenant.
I'm like, damn.
He's not though. He's not.
I'm
thick,
eating my steak, but
unfortunately.
I'm enjoying the meal, if you know what I'm saying.
Jesus.
I do know what you're saying, and I wish that I didn't. I wish that I had never heard you say that. So you eat this meal in silence because the lieutenant does not believe in dinner conversation. But like Nomi, do you? Because I think everybody else is sort of engaged in it, but I wanted to see like Nomi, do you like? Are you looking around? Are you like trying to get a vibe on this guy? Do you trust him because Bicky does? Like, I'm curious about your response as the person with psychic powers and also like the most kind of interpersonal understanding of anybody in the group.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I feel weirdly just fine with the whole situation. Like I don't feel very suspicious of him. Maybe that's foolish, but for some reason I don't get like a vibe from him that he's like dangerous. So I'm more
Yeah, I
concerned
think
about
that's-
who like murdered the dude and sent him to us.
Your dead cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and this is the thing too. There's certainly an element of like for Nomi, particularly like nobility at play here, where like you look around at all the things this man has, right? You look at his expensive wood table and his fancy steak and his important apartment and his like bioengineered super dog or whatever, and you're like,
Mhm.
I could just take all this away from you if I felt like it. Like you could do anything you want to this guy and nobody legally would be able to do anything about it. And so like even if you don't think that consciously, like that is something that you are just subconsciously aware of. That he's still just a jumped up serf. So maybe the impressive act doesn't work on you the same way it might. But it is something that I think we would be conscious of as like participants in the scene, and he's aware of it too, right? There is a kind of like, I mean, Bicky would notice this. There's a kind of put on-ness, like he's kind of withdrawn in a way that he might not be if it were just the two of you. And at the end, yeah, he puts you in the like armored car version of the cab, and sends you off, and he says to you, Bicky, he's like, I hope for you and for whoever it is that's trying to kill your charge, you never get anywhere near them, because I know they'll be dead, and you'll still feel like you failed. I'm putting you up somewhere safe. But if you get into any more trouble, now I know that we're square, but you can still call. Because, I know Parcheesi likes the company, so.
Yeah. Parcheesi.
Right, well, all right then.
Maybe next time I come by, I'll just be able to come by for a drink, you know?
Yeah, that's enough with
Under
the
better
waterworks, all right.
circumstances. I know.
And
I
he
know.
just turns around like, just I don't have time for
Yeah.
the emotional
Doddering old
horseshit.
fool.
Yeah, and he walks back inside his house, and the like 3-layer door like seals behind him.
Before, as he's walking away, Booker
Yeah.
just says, "Thanks for the meal. Steak wasn't bad either."
Yeah, and he just doesn't turn around. He just nods. He's like, "Yep," and goes inside. Yeah. So so we crossfade to a secure location somewhere on Imperial Prime. This place is more like a bunker than the temporary, like the sort of scryer house that you were in before. It's got like food supplies and like a security door, like probably blast resistant, no windows. It has a hardened like comms panel with like a bunch of extra security horse shit in it. Like metal crates, and then it's got kind of cell-like rooms with those like pull down bench like beds that you can put bedding on. And everything in here is like it's never been used before, so it's like the bedding is all vacuum sealed in packs. And I think that like Vicky, you've been in places like this before lots of times.
Mhm.
And maybe Booker, the last time you were in a place like this was on Honolulu, but you're not being tortured and thrown in a cell this time. But it has that same kind of austere, like hard-edged concreteness to it. It's not going to be comfortable, but it is going to be safe.
Mhm.
And so you get set up in this place.
Vicky's in her element, for sure.
Yeah.
And she kind of says that. She's like, yeah, feel like we're going to be pretty safe here.
Yeah, you're in the shining jewel of the Imperial Crown, and you have to live in a concrete box at the bottom of the pile. But it will be safe. There's not going to be any more people trying to come after you.
Well, no.
And and I think that you're set up there. I assume someone gets in touch with Gabriel to let him know where you are.
Yeah, Booker would probably check in with.
Mark's like, no, I'm playing my own game now.
Nope. I mean, never mind.
I'm dead now. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you
Cool.
did just throw yourself to your death. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the four of you are in this place when you get a Booker. You get a call from Krieg's Hair Ferrero.
Salami.
Yeah.
Right.
Salome. So she calls, and there's like, you have to use your comms don't work down here. But you can like channel them through the secure like server to make it work.
Gotcha. All right.
Okay.
I do that.
Yeah. Okay. So she sounds, you can hear it almost in the sound, like the lack of sound before she speaks. You can hear it in this, like in the breath she takes before she says anything. Like she's pissed. She's not pissed at you, but something is like irritating the shit out of her. And so she says, Booker, maybe you want to help me understand why I have a Serpent's Scryer in my office right now with an order to take my computer. Do you have any idea why this scryer would have this order? Hmm?
No.
Well, the house seems to think that this is an internal issue, and they learned about this Lang, and now they are here to clean up. You don't know anything about that. You want to ask your friend, Cirrus, about it?
Nomi.
Calls over.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna put Nomi on. Like
Okay.
Hands the con to you.
I don't
So
have
we
fancy
cut-
voice changing equipment.
With the effect on. Do it.
we cut back, so the shot cuts to Salome she's outside her office on her personal comms. The window to her office is semi-transparent, and we can see in there is a person wearing black and green who is instructing some serfs to put like computer equipment into some boxes to be transported out. And so so you get past the comm, Nomi.
Okay. I just introduced myself. This is the Cirrus. I asked to whom I'm speaking. Is it Salome is still on the phone, or is it the other person?
Yeah, it's still her.
Okay. May I speak with the scryer?
So she gets on the phone and she's like, yeah, because she expected to talk to you. So she puts the phone, like holds the phone against her chest. We see her walk into the office, and then we cut back to Nomi, and you hear a man's voice on the other side say, Cirrus Kal, is it?
Yes, this is she.
This is Scryer Albans. I'm acting on behalf of the house, retrieving some sensitive information from this Crux office. Is there something I can do for you?
What sensitive information might that be?
I'm going to need you to verify your identity before I can tell you that. And the comm like pings an information request. It's just a signet. Like basically you need to like use your like bio signature to like scan the thing. This happens all the time, just to prove who you are.
Yeah, just like verify your identity.
All right. So there's a moment, and then he says, "Thank you, cousin. Now I can't go into any great detail, given where I am and who you're with. But this is about Friedrich Lang. He was in the middle of an operation. We can't have House Crux digging into it just now. We've been given authority by the court to retrieve this information."
You're aware that Friedrich Lang was murdered and then sent to my safe house, where no one was supposed to be aware of my presence on the planet. This was a direct threat to me and my safety.
I had heard that, Cirrus. Yes, that must be unsettling for you.
Therefore, we requested the assistance of the local authorities at the request of one of our team members. This isn't to do with the Crux. This is to investigate why this person, this Serpens, was murdered because of me. You are impeding this investigation.
The Den has reason to believe that the Crux office has been compromised. The woman you gave information to is not reliable.
I see. Does the Den then wish to apprise me of the situation, since I'm the one who is being threatened?
One thing at a time, Cirrus. We need to understand what happened to Friedrich Lang, which I suspect you are looking into as well.
Yes, and we need all the help that we can get. Unfortunately, my contacts on Imperial Prime are limited. Is the Den able to assist me in this manner?
We may be able to. I can tell you this much, Cirrus. You are in graver danger than you think. Friedrich Lang's operation involved synthetic humans and their presence on Imperial Prime. We believe there is a cell of them attempting to infiltrate the Senate. It appears they discovered Lang's purpose, God rest his soul, and murdered him. And I believe if they think that you and your Crux companions are here to deal with them, you are all in fairly grave danger.
How large is this cell of synthetics? Are we talking 10? 100?
Unfortunately, Friedrich Lang was the only one who knew that for certain.
All right. Then how does the den wish that I proceed?
Are you somewhere safe, relatively speaking?
We believe so.
And your companions, you are sure that they are who they say they are?
We have one new addition to the team who is from the Deathless. However, I have sensed no duplicity from her thus far.
These creatures can be tricky. I would advise you to reduce your inherent trust in these strangers. And if you have a means to confirm the identity of your friends, I would do so at your earliest convenience. I don't want to lose
And-
another family member.
And this fear that the den has over the loyalty of the Crux, am I in immediate contact with anyone that they are aware of?
Scryer Lang's investigation only went as far as Imperial Prime. Whether there are artificials on board your ship or not, I cannot say.
Understood. Then if the den wishes for me to pick up where Friedrich Lang left off, I would be eager at the opportunity to sort out some more synthetics.
Your fervor is appreciated. We may need someone to pick up where Lang left off. Where are you, Cirrus? I can send someone.
When he verified my identity, is there also verify his identity?
That was a one-way transaction.
Great. Okay, so when he says that, then I'll follow that up with Scryer Albans. In order to give you that information, I'm sure you understand that I need to verify your identity as well.
Of course, Cirrus. A moment. And so you wait, and you get a confirmation for a Scryer Serpens Albans. He's a citizen of Imperial Prime. He's in his 50s. It says he was married briefly to another Serpens, but that she died probably of some kind of MES complications. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago. He had a son and a daughter, but both of them died fighting synths. They died on Gats, early parts of the war.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then if he is who he says he is and it's all kosher, then I'll like transmit my information to him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And so he says, "Thank you, Cirrus. We'll send someone." And then he hangs up.
Okay. He doesn't put me back on the phone with what's her face?
No, fuck her.
No? Okay.
He doesn't give a shit about that lady.
Okay, so I like handbook her back his like comm link or whatever. Unfortunately, there was nothing I could do to help your friend Salome. However, the Serpens should be sending someone along to assist us with our investigation.
And you trust this person?
A Serpens? No more than I need to.
They were aware of our last location. It's my only reservation there. They were one of the few parties that would have known where we were.
Well, the gift was from Trillian, wasn't it? Was it Trillian and
It was
Serpens?
yeah, it was Trillian
Serpens,
Serpens.
Deathless.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I find it extremely hard to believe that Serpens would sacrifice a member of their own house in order to send some kind of cryptic message. That seems very foreign.
The only thing I can think of is if perhaps this there is a synth within serpents themselves, perhaps this one that you spoke to, but that seems very, even for me, that seems paranoid.
Nomi like bristles when you say that. Like you can,
Yeah.
it's almost like you can feel like heat come off of her.
Mm.
She's like, I highly doubt that, Crusader.
If one thing I've learned as a detective, Nomi, in all due respect to you and your house, is that oftentimes in these things, the least likely scenario sometimes is what ends up unfolding. I wouldn't count anything out.
Especially considering the victim was half crux. They might not have held his life in as high regard. You nobles are kind of wacky like that.
Yes, and the deathless are perfectly normal all the time.
Super chill.
Your concerns are duly noted. As for now, we have an investigation to proceed with.
Judging from the conversation, it seems that the implied matter was that perhaps these synthetics are vying for position of this comptroller, perhaps. That is why this message has been sent. They perhaps know our mission. Perhaps it is all connected in some way. It would be a way to have say in the Senate, and perhaps it would be just the beginning.
By the way, I've cut the comm. I'm just so we're clear.
Yeah.
Well, he hung up a
I
long
would
time
have just
ago.
hung it. Yeah.
Yeah, he hung up on.
He hung up on me.
Nomi,
Well, yeah,
so
you
you're good.
said you passed me the comm. I didn't know if it was still like a live comm that it was going back
No.
to
No.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
the salami.
Salami.
I'm always going to call her salami because Salome is just hard to
Salome.
say and
Salome.
harder to remember.
Salome.
It's just like
Salome.
saying salami with a
Like
funny
salamander.
accent.
Yeah, I guess
Salamander.
that's how I'll remember
Salome.
it. This is like a fucked up way of saying salamander.
Mm-hmm.
Salome.
Salome.
I'll just cut off the ander.
Mhm.
Okay.
So do we just wait for the person to arrive before we go
question.
anywhere? I don't know how long it would take for them to get here. Crusader came back, so we're all together now.
Mhm. Yep, the Crusader's with you.
Perhaps one of us should keep an eye on things from outside. Yeah, I think like at this point, Gabriel kind of sensing that he's obviously said something that Nomi bristled at, and also
Yeah.
with his own doubts, I think he'll be like, I shall step outside for a moment and keep an eye on the road. Let you conduct the investigation. And he'll make his way out and find a good vantage point to keep an eye on the safe house from outside.
Okay. All right. So we see It's great. I'm gonna get to cliffhanger this so hard. So we see
Mm.
Gabriel come outside, but we don't see Gabriel from like a standard kind of street level view. This isn't composed like organically. This shot, we see Gabriel through some kind of long distance viewing device, like a pair of
A scope.
binoculars or maybe a scope of some sort.
Fuck.
And so the
Take a
Crusader
shot at him.
comes outside, and we see that kind of look on his face, like of concern, and like you just had this conversation with this lady, and like you're feeling a little like concerned. So, what do you when you come outside? What do you do? Do you just like you look for
I mean,
a place
he's a
to
professional. So
stand
he,
and-
yeah, and he's trying to be very discreet. Like he makes sure to like wait until there's nobody kind of around, and then he exits, kind of thing, and then goes to find a vantage point where he can stay hidden but keep an eye on anybody approaching the safe house. So he's basically wants to
Yeah.
go on watch, basically.
Okay, make a notice roll with wisdom. Advanced. Let's see how I roll.
I just gonna roll.
Tie, eh? How
Where does the
ties
tie
work?
fall, Adam? Does it fall
Yeah.
to the player?
I don't know. I'm gonna look. I can't remember if
Well,
we've had a tie.
it looks like you have a
before.
bonus and I don't. So
That's true too.
me as a
Let's take
GM,
that.
I would naturally fall against me, but
Sometimes
I
the
don't know
game is
how
like it
this
goes to the
system works.
defender. Sometimes it says it always
Yeah.
goes to the GM. Like
yeah, or the player I've seen as well. So I don't know.
yeah, right. Okay.
My general rule is if they have a
What if
bonus and you
I-
tie, they win. Oh,
Mhm.
What if I use my oracle when he goes outside?
Yeah, maybe. Would you?
I don't know. That
Like,
one's like
and
a
about-
hard.
And about
That-
what? Right.
Yeah, because like that ability, I feel like requires some kind of like, why would you use this at this exact moment, like this precise
Mm.
moment?
Yeah, you tend to use it.
So-
Well, so I've treated it a couple of ways because I had lots and lots of opportunities to do this with Wheat on Swan Song. So you can use it both consciously to be like, I am about to do something dangerous. What will happen? You can also use it like your character does it subconsciously. Like, I have a reason to suspect something bad might occur. Like it's like spider sense, right? So you can
Right.
as a player say, I don't think Nomi is consciously thinking about this, but maybe she feels weird and like I would like to use this skill as a player, right? Having a bad
Right.
feeling about something or just
Well, because like when they asked if I trusted that guy, like I do believe that he is who he said he was, but that doesn't mean that I necessarily trust him. And they said that they were
Yeah.
going to send someone, and then the Crusaders going outside. And I don't know when that. I was kind of waiting to see if I could ask you, like, do I hear a car pull up and then I want to use it or something like that? But maybe like now is just the moment to.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I found the resolution, but I'd love to. I want to know first if you want to use your power. What do
Sure.
you think, Nomi? Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's look at what
She's got a
Oracle
bad
does.
feeling about this.
Yeah.
Said in C3PO's voice.
Okay,
Bad
let's
feeling
see.
about this.
Who am I?
I like how
My-
your brain goes to
We do.
C3PO and my brain goes to like Tropic Thunder. I got a bad feeling about this one. It's like immediately.
Wow.
Did you
Yeah,
know? And
Star
I
Wars
didn't
100%.
know this. I didn't know this until recently. Did you know that a lot of that 3PO stuff in the script it just said "oh my," comma, etc. Like it was just like
Really?
makeup, like just Anthony Daniels just
Anthony
make up some
Daniels, yeah.
concerned babble. Yeah, like that's so
Yeah.
great. It was just like I don't know, just oh my, or
Oh
whatever.
my goodness. Where do you think you're
All right.
going, you bucket of bolts?
So let's see. Once triggered, you get a brief vision related to the question about the future you're asking, and it can go. What's your level for?
It's only I have 1 minute into the future.
1 minute in the next
Level
60
0.
seconds. Okay. All right. What is the question that you'd like to answer?
Oh, I guess I was as the Crusader was stepping outside, I was concerned for his safety. 'Cause he was
Yeah,
going
like is the
outside of
Crusader
safe
going to be
house.
okay? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like
No. Fuck no. No, not at all.
no.
You
Great.
definitely you feel a sense of like if he goes out there, there's a chance that he will be killed. But I checked the rules. Mark, ties go to the PC. So
Mm.
what happens? You walk outside and you look around and like it's raining. It's dark now. You're down kind of lower in the like smoggier lower levels, and through the fog you catch a glint off of like you've seen this glint before off of the glass of a sniper's scope, and so you spot it across the street.
Okay, immediately, I can do it without effort if it's under 10 meters. I would teleport back into the safe, like literally back into the corridor or whatever leading into it.
Okay, all right. Well, they're gonna try to shoot you
on action.
They're gonna try to shoot you, and you're gonna try and teleport. But we're gonna save the initiative roll for next time.
Next time.
So, does the Crusader Gabriel get shot in the chest before
Probably.
somebody in the shadows across the street whispers,
This is
for Berkman, and blasts you in the chest?
because if it's a sniper rifle, Adam, and it's an assassination, that you cannot be saved by that, right? I remember
So
reading in the
they
rules that, like a
didn't-
sniper
yeah.
rifle specifically is just you're
They did
dead.
not. Yeah, they didn't
Did
get
you
the
just
minute
say
of observation.
assassination?
They didn't get it. Okay.
They didn't get that minute. So this is a panic shot. This is just a like, oh fuck, he sees me, blam, and then and then you're gonna.
Oh,
get
they've seen me
assassinated.
starting to telly. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Did I say
they
an
twigged.
assassination?
I'm pretty sure you did say assassination. Yeah.
And then look, all right,
And
okay.
assassination.
There's regular assassins, and then up here there's assassins,
An
and you don't want them.
assassination.
You
No.
wouldn't even get an
Definitely not.
initiative roll. You just get killed.
No.
Top gamers.
Yeah.
They just blast you.
And they use
Let's go.
AnneMunition too. It's crazy.
Oh,
Mhm.
All right.
She's
everybody.
ruined that word.
let's-
I can't say it without thinking
know, right?
AnneMunition.
You're welcome.
Yep.
No, no.
All right, everybody. Let's do some shout outs. We will start with AnneMunition. Please.
That's
do
me.
the thing.
Thanks for watching, guys. I've been moving and stuff, so I haven't really been streaming too much. But finally, I am able to stream again. So I don't think I'm going to stream tonight, however, because I still have, as you can tell, unpacking and setting up and stuff like that to do. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm probably going to play more Apex Legends, although Astroneer just came out, so I'm excited about that too. The full release came out. So you can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all those places. Same name, AnneMunition. And I'll see you guys next week.
Cool. All right, Max, please shout it on out.
Hello there. I am Max Gonzalez, otherwise known as GassyMexican here on this silly site. I'm a variety broadcaster that plays all sorts of stuff and gamey doos. Also do the YouTubes if you guys want to check that out. I'm pretty much the same thing on everything. You can see it. That way. I got it right. Good.
That way you got it.
I'll be playing some Apex Legends later on tonight with some friendos. Giving that more of a try. And other than that, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Biggie tip. That's all I got. Bye.
Yes, yeah.
Max,
Thanks for the Passover. Babe, pinky tip. Why don't you go next?
Hello. I'm that bronze girl. You can find me in various places around the internet. My new project with Geek and Sundry just launched. It's called Relics and Rarities, basically by D&D with a bunch of people from the TV. So check that out. I think it's pretty good so far. And you can also find me on my own channel at ThatBronzegirl. I'm a early morning streamer, so that's what I do.
Cool. Thanks, Brown.
Mhm.
Last but not least, Mark Holmes.
Malcolmus.
Malcolm.
Great episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a blast as always. It's always fun getting to do the more kind of intensive emotive stuff and revealing all sorts of nonsense going on. You can catch me. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow UK time, generally about 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. UK time. Twitch is Sherlock Coombs. You can also follow me on Twitter. I also do a thing called High Rollers D&D, which is my own High Rollers Dungeons and Dragons show, which you can check out on Sundays on the Yogscast Twitch, if you know those guys. That's where we do our stream. Check that out. Awesome. Thanks for the episode. Thanks, Adam. Thanks for torturing me with
You're welcome.
terrible things that happen to my character.
The best moments, and we'll talk about this in the post show. The best moments are when a player knows their character fucked up, but they have to play through the scene where they fucked up
Like,
because
they
the
didn't
character
know, yeah.
doesn't know they got a 3. You're just like,
Yep.
oh god. Well, here we
Yep.
go. Yeah,
Mal.
cool. Yeah, Mulk is in the crosshairs. That's to remind me for next time.
Bye,
Cool. All right,
Mulk.
everybody. So I'm Adam Coble. I am a very much a full-time player of the Dungeons and Dragons and other role-playing games such as this one. You can find me right here doing this, and then also Court of Swords, which is our 5th edition D&D game. And I actually just started a new game this morning on twitch.tv/D&D called Jace Bellerin Must Die. So if you're a Magic the Gathering fan, you can watch that. That's going to be every Wednesday, in addition to all the other good shit that I do over at twitch.tv/AdamKoble. Follow me on Twitter, skinnyghost. If Twitter ever goes away, there goes all my business. So follow me there while it exists. And we will see you next time. We're going to go and record the post-show, which we do for our patrons after every episode. And that's over at patreon.com/roleplay, along with all the other good, fun stuff. So check it out. That's it for us. We will see you next time for more Far Verona. Bye, everybody.